Welcome to Brighter Horizons, where electrifying lessons on resilience, strength, and perseverance will inspire, challenge, and transform every aspect of your life. Are you tired of turning in circles and not going anywhere in life? Are you afraid of drifting aimlessly in life? Imagine setting sail without a destination. You might enjoy the sun and the waves for a while, but soon you'll feel lost. Without a compass, you're adrift. This is how it feels to live without a vision. A vision is more than a dream, it's a roadmap. It tells us where we want to go and how to get there. Vision gives us purpose. It fuels our actions. Without vision, we drift. We waste time. We miss opportunities. This is the story of John, a man who learned the cost of having no vision the hard way. John was a dreamer. He had big ideas, but they rarely materialized. He flitted from one thing to another, never fully committing. A jack of all trades, master of none, as they say. He dabbled in photography, then web design, then considered becoming a chef. He enrolled in countless online courses, amassing certificates but no real expertise. He was always starting, never finishing. John was a kind and intelligent man, full of potential, yet his lack of direction kept him stuck. He was like a ship without an anchor, drifting aimlessly with the tide. Years flew by, and John found himself approaching his mid-30s with little to show for it. He had always envisioned a life filled with accomplishments and milestones, but reality painted a different picture. The dreams he once held so dearly seemed to drift further away with each passing day. The countless hours he poured into fleeting passions felt heavy, like a burden on his shoulders. Each project he started with enthusiasm ended up abandoned, gathering dust in the corners of his mind. The weight of unfinished tasks and unfulfilled promises grew heavier with time. He had spent countless evenings and weekends on projects that never saw the light of day. The late nights, the solitary hours spent in front of a glowing screen all seemed in vain. His efforts, though earnest, never seemed to culminate in anything tangible. He had sacrificed time with loved ones, always chasing the next big idea. Family gatherings, moments of joy and laughter, all missed because he was too engrossed in his pursuits. The empty chair at the dinner table was a silent testament to his absence. He realized with a pang of regret that he had let precious time slip through his fingers. The memories captured in old photographs served as a stark reminder of the moments he could never reclaim. Each grain of sand in the hourglass represented a lost opportunity. The weight of this realization was immense. It was as if a dark cloud had settled over him, casting a shadow on his every thought. The ticking of the clock became a constant reminder of the time he had wasted, the potential he had squandered. He had always believed he had time, that he could figure things out eventually. But the years had a way of slipping by unnoticed, and now he found himself grappling with the harsh reality. The planner that once held his dreams and aspirations now seemed like a mockery of his ambitions, but now, the clock was ticking louder than ever. Each second that passed felt like a countdown, a reminder that time was running out. The urgency he felt was palpable, a gnawing sensation that he could no longer ignore. He felt lost in a sea of wasted potential. The horizon, once filled with promise, now seemed distant and unattainable. As he walked through the crowded city, he couldn't shake the feeling of being adrift, unsure of his path and haunted by the choices he had made. John's lack of direction wasn't just costing him time, it was costing him money. Those online courses, photography equipment, and culinary tools he'd accumulated all added up. His home was a testament to his ever-changing interests, filled with gadgets and gear that had been used only once or twice. Each new hobby came with its own set of expenses, and John was always eager to dive in, hoping this would be the one that stuck. He'd invested in countless get-rich-quick schemes, each promising a shortcut to financial freedom. Late-night infomercials and flashy online ads lured him in with tales of overnight success. But these ventures delivered only disappointment. The initial excitement quickly faded as the reality of the hard work and dedication required set in. John found himself disillusioned, yet he couldn't resist the allure of the next big thing. He hadn't managed his finances wisely, often spending impulsively without considering the long-term consequences. His bank statements were a grim reminder of his financial missteps. The constant outflow of cash for fleeting interests drained his savings. Each new purchase brought a momentary thrill, but it was always followed by regret. His bank account looked worryingly thin, a stark contrast to the abundance of unused items cluttering his home. The financial strain was becoming unbearable. He had always thought that money wasn't everything, believing that true happiness came from experiences and personal growth. And to some extent, he was right. Material possessions and wealth weren't the ultimate keys to happiness. However, the lack of financial stability was a constant source of stress. The financial strain he was under added another layer of stress to his already difficult situation. Bills piled up, and the pressure to make ends meet was relentless. He was trapped in a vicious cycle of chasing fleeting passions and depleting his resources. Each new endeavor left him more financially strained and emotionally exhausted. John knew he needed to find a way out, to break free from this pattern and regain control of his life. One day, John met Mary, a successful entrepreneur, at a networking event. Mary was different. She had a clear vision for her life and her business. As John listened to Mary speak passionately about her work, he felt a surge of envy. He admired her clarity, her drive, and the way she seemed to effortlessly navigate the challenges of entrepreneurship. Mary, sensing John's quiet despair, offered him some advice. "John," she said, "you have talent and enthusiasm, but you lack direction. You need to find your why, your purpose." Her words struck a chord with John. The power of a well-defined goal. Goals are the compass that guide us through the journey of life. Without them, we often find ourselves wandering aimlessly, unsure of our direction or purpose. But when we define our goals clearly, they become powerful tools that can transform our lives. Mary's words sparked something in John. It was as if a light had been switched on in a dark room. He had been drifting through life, going through the motions without a clear sense of direction. But now, he felt a stirring within him, a desire to find his true path. He realized that he had been so busy chasing shadows that he had forgotten to ask himself a fundamental question: what do I really want? This question echoed in his mind, challenging him to dig deeper and uncover his true desires and aspirations. He spent the next few weeks reflecting on his passions, skills, and experiences. He revisited old memories, looking through photos and mementos that reminded him of who he used to be and what he used to love. He wrote down his thoughts, trying to piece together the puzzle of his life. He remembered his childhood love for writing. As a child, he would spend hours crafting stories and filling notebooks with his imagination. This passion had been buried under the weight of adult responsibilities, but now it resurfaced, bringing with it a sense of joy and excitement, and his knack for explaining complex things in simple terms. He had always enjoyed breaking down complicated concepts and making them accessible to others. This skill had served him well in various aspects of his life, from helping friends with their studies to explaining work processes to colleagues. He realized that he had always been drawn to helping others learn and grow. Whether it was tutoring a friend, mentoring a junior colleague, or simply offering advice, he found fulfillment in seeing others succeed and reach their potential. Finally, a vision began to form in his mind. It was a vision of a future where he could combine his love for writing, his talent for simplifying complex ideas, and his passion for helping others. This vision was not just a fleeting thought, it was a clear and compelling picture of what he wanted his life to be. He wanted to become a writer and speaker, sharing his knowledge and inspiring others to pursue their dreams. He imagined himself standing in front of an audience, captivating them with his words and writing books that would touch people's lives and motivate them to chase their own dreams. He had finally found his why, and with it came a renewed sense of purpose. This newfound clarity gave him the determination to pursue his goals with vigor and enthusiasm. He knew that the journey ahead would not be easy, but with a well-defined goal, he felt ready to face any challenge that came his way. Reclaiming lost time. John knew he couldn't get back the time he had lost, but he was determined to make the most of the time he had left. He started by creating a schedule and sticking to it. He carved out specific times for writing, researching, and networking. He joined a writers group and attended industry events. He was finally treating his passion like a priority, not just a hobby. He became more disciplined, more focused, and more productive. He was amazed at how much he could accomplish when he had a clear goal in mind. He was no longer drifting, he was sailing towards a destination. The financial turnaround. With a clear vision and a renewed sense of purpose, John's financial situation began to improve as well. He stopped wasting money on fleeting interests and invested his resources wisely in his writing career. He enrolled in a writing course to hone his skills and hired a business coach to help him develop a marketing strategy. He knew that building a successful writing career would take time and effort, but he was willing to put in the work. He started earning income from freelance writing gigs and eventually secured a book deal. His financial stress began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of accomplishment and financial security. Charting your course. John's story is a reminder that it's never too late to find your vision. It's also a cautionary tale about the cost of living without one. Without a vision, we're like ships without rudders, tossed about by the whims of fate. Take the time to discover your why, your purpose, your passion. Write it down, make a plan, and take action. The journey might be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. Remember, the greatest cost of having no vision is not the money wasted, but the life left unlived. Chart your course and set sail towards a brighter future. Thank you for watching. Visit Brighter Horizons to start your journey towards a well-defined vision today.